Situated now. Let's see here. At least I say I do. Yep, there it is. All right, good deal. All right, we're live. So, hello everybody. Thank you for watching tonight. Again, it is Gabriel Silva and myself, Will Johnson. Um, the reason why I said that the last time we were on, someone put in a comment and said, "These two again." And I'm like, really? So then I offered an invitation to this person to come on and tell me about it, to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And all of a sudden they stopped talking. I get that a lot. I don't understand why not. Come talk to me about it. I mean, if I'm doing something wrong, I mean, by all means, come tell me. Just like now we have Senator Pan. He's actually coming out
Yep.
and attacking us. I mean, I've never. I had on what's his name, Joshua. Is it Joshua
Josh
Coleman?
Coleman.
Yeah, I had on Joshua Coleman, and I shared a video with him asking Pan about the vaccines, and Pan was, he was being aggressive to Pan, but Pan was being, in my opinion, kind of arrogant. All he had to do was just talk to him and answer his questions, and he probably would have left him alone. But I think Pan know that he was in the wrong is the reason why he did what he was doing. So now all of a sudden, I'm on his radar and he's attacking me, and it has nothing to do with that because that was what, this was maybe
July,
6 months ago.
June.
Yeah, exactly. So this was July, June, and now he's attacking me from the post that you put out there from the screenshot, and now he's attacking both of us. He's attacking Hareem. Hareem is in Southern California, and he's attacking Hareem. He's calling us hate groups. This is what we deal with these crazy politicians. My producer said, don't talk much about San Francisco, but San Francisco has Nancy Pelosi, Mayor Ed Lee, Senator Weiner, and I'm not, I guess, and Pan, he's out of Sacramento, correct?
Yeah, District 6 out of Sacramento.
Yeah, so let's talk about Pan. Let's talk about who's running against Pan or who we need to knock Pan out with. Go ahead.
Okay, we have Janine DeRose running for Senate District 6 against Senator Penn. She is an activist just like myself, and she's been out there getting involved with the referendums, the recalls, fighting SB 277, SB 18. She's been, she was at the town hall where we shut down Penn's town hall at West Sacramento. So she's been involved with activism, and she has an extensive background of experience pertaining specifically to running for senator. So she's a really good candidate. You can find out more at deroseforsenate.com. She's just a mom like us, and she's very, very grounded. She's very knowledgeable. She has a lot of experience, and I don't see any other candidate emerging right now that could do it besides Janine. I think we all need to rally around her and get Senator Pan out of office. Come on, Senator Pan. Senator Pan introduces the most outrageous legislation to try to take control of our kids, take control of our body sovereignty. Senator Pan is one of the most dangerous politicians in America, in my opinion. And anybody that's been following what I've been saying, they know all about Senator Pan. They know me by name when I go to these town halls. They know me by name. It's just ridiculous.
Really?
He definitely lashed out at us. All I did, he talked about American values, and he was, he's against President Trump's decision on DACA, and so I just basically said, well, if you're about American values, like you're saying, then why are you attacking, parental rights and body sovereignty and, all these American values? Why are you attacking them if you're saying you're about American values? So he lashes out, and like Joey, you will, Amber, transgender, Hareem, he lashes out at all of us and says that we're a hate group, and he quotes like the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is totally illegitimate and is more of a hate group itself. So I thought it was really ridiculous that he's, honestly, all that says is he's been paying attention to us. He knows who you guys are. He knows who we are, and we're on his mind. I guess we're doing the right thing if we're on these people's radar.
I mean, it's for me, for him to call United America First a hate group. I mean, to me, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
We had the United America First rally at Sacramento, and it was 100% peaceful. We didn't have all the crazy Antifa members coming out. We didn't have all the crazy band members coming out, BLM. We didn't have all of that. There was a couple of people across the street just watching. They were more than welcome to come. No one was going to be hateful towards them, and that's what the crazy media is putting out there. And look, what's really crazy is that we had these senators coming out saying these blatant lies, and then the media is probably going to pick it up and they're going to run with it, and they're going to question why is everybody calling us fake news? That's the mainstream media. They're questioning why they're being called fake news, as if they don't know. The main reason why they become fake news is because they're taking fake stuff that's coming from these politicians and running with it. They're not even questioning it. The rally we had at Sacramento was 100% peaceful. The rally I went to before that in Sacramento was 100% peaceful. It was a march for, what was it? The march for Trump.
It was a Make America Great Again. Yeah.
Yeah, March for America. I mean, it was 100% peaceful. Nobody was fighting. So where do they get that, And I can only talk for United America First because we are 100% a peaceful group. Now, we have our views and we have our values and we have our opinions, and we're entitled to that. Everyone's entitled to that. Everyone's entitled to have their free speech. We never call for violence, not like they do. They're constantly calling for violence. For example, if we do any rally, just like we tried to do in San Francisco, they were calling for violence. They were calling us white supremacists when we're clearly not. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, these politicians are so corrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting some weird interference here or something, but yeah, I think it's ridiculous that they're coming after us and they're allowing the media to run with it. They're not setting it straight. What they're doing is they're creating an environment of fear, and in doing so, they're inviting these left extremist groups, these domestic terrorists. They're inviting them in to cause harm and violence at these events, and so. The only events that you and I have been organizers of have been 100% peaceful. And the one that was going to be violent, we canceled it because we didn't want any violence. And you see what happened the next day in Berkeley. The only people that were violent there were the Antifa extremists. And we've seen politicians across America and media across America come out and condemn Antifa. But where are you at, Senator Penn? I'd like to see you come out and condemn all hate because you used a no hate or against hate hashtag or whatever it was. I want to see you condemn all hate, especially these organizations that are on the streets committing violence, and they say that they line up with your left ideologies.
Yeah, one thing I don't like is that they're only talking about Antifa the next day at Berkeley, but you can guarantee BAM was there and BLM was there. They were all there uniting together to fight and be violent against people who support America, support our president. I mean, why are we considered hate groups if we support the president? We're not racist. They can't call me, they're calling me a white supremacist, which is completely ignorant to non-belief. Seriously, where are these people getting off? They're blatantly lying, and it's so frustrating that we have people like Senator Penn, because these are people that are in political position. They're supposed to be there for the people. They're supposed to be there to help the people, but they only offer their own agenda. And their agenda has been destroying this country, and it's been destroying this state. Every last one of them. Last night I had a gentleman on, Jermaine, and he was talking about you know, how it is with the black people and how it is with Latino people. And if anyone missed that, please go look at his website. It's coonfiles.com. And he talks about how the black people in this country are being treated, and how how they're being manipulated by the left. And same thing with Latinos. And the same, it goes across the board with minorities. And my point is that we have these liberals in this state that has destroyed this state. They've already put a 9-cent tax increase before I moved here. Where did that money go? I mean, seriously, someone pocketed that money, and it's still there. And now they're getting ready to implement a 12-cent tax on top of that. I mean, what's going on here is highway robbery by these politicians in this state. And I'm speaking out. And if I'm wrong, then show the money. Where's the money? I mean, seriously, when we do rallies, same thing with the campaign against domestic terrorism, which I believe Pan is a part of, because he's deliberately attacking us for no apparent reason, because he doesn't like what we're saying. I don't like what he's saying, but I don't go out there and deliberately attack him. He deliberately is attacking us. The same way same thing Nancy Pelosi did, and the mayor. But anyways, they are the ones who destroyed this. I'm not a politician. I'm just only speaking out. I'm just speaking my mind, just like you are, and thousands of other people. They are the ones who destroying this state, not us. And people like myself are fed up with it. And we also have liberals in this state that are actually getting fed up with it. I mean, I've had people that are on the left call in and say, you know what? I used to support the Democratic Party, but I can't any longer because of what they're doing. I mean, you've been in California how many years? What changes have you seen?
Me personally, I've been in California all my life, so I've seen it go from conservative all the way till now. And I want to touch on something that you're talking about, is the extraction of money and the blatant lies. There's videos, with Senator Pan. He's been caught in lie after lie after lie. And Senator Pan really doesn't like me because he sees me. He'll sit a couple chairs away from me in front of Congress in the legislative hearing, and I'll be, going against his bills, and he hates it because I'm at his town halls. I'm everywhere because you know what the reality is that I see. What he does is he is a puppet for these organizations. They'll come together, and they'll pay him to introduce legislation that causes the taxpayer to pay for these services that they profit off of. So that's the whole extraction gimmick or little scheme they have going on, is that they say we need these services, and then they allot taxpayer money for these services, and then the taxpayer money goes to these organizations that give them kickbacks in various ways. And one reason why Senator Pan he doesn't like us too much probably, and he's been paying attention, is because the Ford Foundation and the unions that fund Antifa, they also fund Senator Pan. Okay, they're on Common Sense Media's donor list on their website, and Common Sense Media has been using Senator Pan to push legislation. And so if anybody does any research, they can see that it's a multi-pronged approach to get violent organizations on the street while they push this legislative war against us as well. And to touch on one of your points, BLM and Black Bloc and BAM was out there. Yvette Falarca is the founder of BAM or something, and she's out. She's already facing charges for assault at the Capitol last year in June, and she was out there, right there at the rally. It wasn't even a rally because it was canceled, but when that violence occurred on Sunday in Berkeley, Yvette Falarca was there, and you could see what happened to Kyle. They prohibited him from going to any rallies in Berkeley, so he wasn't out there. But here, Yvette Falarca is being convicted of the same type of charge, and she's out there right on conducting business for her organization as usual.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what? I'm sitting there thinking about what can we do. I mean, all we can do, I know for the most part, we can sit here and talk about what they're doing to us, what they're saying about us. They're trying to discredit us. I mean, not a single time, there's no proof of anything of me being violent towards anyone when I'm constantly talking about us not being violent. You know, and I commend you for going to all of these hearings that Pan is at. And you know what? I'm gonna encourage everyone else to, to start participating and to show up at these hearings. So in the future, when he's gonna have a hearing, I'm gonna talk about it before, and maybe possibly when you're there, because you're a lot closer to Sacramento than I am. And if you're there, maybe we can broadcast it at the same time and talk about
Yeah,
it. Because to my understanding, you can bring cameras in there and you can broadcast and you can talk about it. So,
yeah.
you know what?
The hearings, I go live during the hearings as well as the town halls. I think it's a great idea, and I'm more than happy to broadcast it for you. I think that it's important. And one of my missions this year is to get the Patriot movement more involved in legislative hearings and defeating these bills that come through that are outrageous, like this bill to pay criminals to not do violence. It's just ridiculous that we're coming to this level where Congress is so blatantly corrupt. They're making outrageous bills like that, and I think we need to have a presence at these town halls more. I think that we need to. I've done all this stuff for the last couple of years, and so I know it works. And now that we have all the patriots together and we're all listening to each other and we're working together, I think it's going to be huge. And especially because this next legislative cycle this coming year, we're going to see them introduce some skeletons and stuff, and we're going to go through the holidays. And by next spring, they're going to start adding all the guts and add all the different pieces to these bills. And they're going to be, I think that you're going to see bills like SCR 41 come out, and they're going to be an attack on our freedoms like we've never seen.
Yeah, I see that. So, tell us again how people can get in touch with Janine.
DeRoseForSenate.com, and you can find her on Facebook, Janine DeRose. She's all over the place. I'm going to be posting more about her. We've held some meetings together to get people to canvass. You could donate, and I'd say this with all candidates, that we need to replace these oppressive, tyrannical representatives. They're not really our representatives. I hate calling them representatives because they're really just corporate representatives. But I think what we need to do is we have to fund these people. We have to join the team and canvass for them. We have to help them have a presence on social media, because we're the only ones that can do it for us. They're not going to have these big corporations come through and donate to them without wanting something in return.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually sitting there thinking, do I want to go live tonight after? And when I read that the screenshot that you put on Pan, and I'm like, why? I don't want to harp on it, but my goodness. I mean, you know what? Everybody that's watching my videos and watching me speak out, I've 100% talked against violence. And it's really kind of hurtful that we have someone that's in, a political position in office that's blatantly lying about a citizen in the state. I mean, is it because I have a platform, because I'm actually talking to people, because I'm actually trying to do something, because I'm trying to make a difference? I mean, what is his reasoning for attacking even Harim? Now, I can understand now he probably has a resentment against you because you're there doing the right thing. But how did I get in? Why did he involve me? And why did he involve Harim? Why did he involve the patriots that had nothing to do with him? But now, since he brought me in, maybe he wanted me to talk about him. So I'm going to talk about him. And I'm going to find out more about all this corruptness that he's been doing. And I'm going to talk about it because people need to know. I mean, there's a reason why the state is in the condition that it's in now. People need to wake up. I mean, it's unbelievable that we as Americans will sit by and watch this nonsense take place.
The time is gone. Like, we have no time. It's literally in our faces, the blatant corruption right now. And they've even taken measures to prevent recalls from happening. Melendez's bill to protect whistleblowers that work within Congress was just denied. I mean, why would they not want people that want to come out against corruption within our Congress to be protected and give them ability to feel comfortable to come out? I mean, it just goes to show. And the Senator Pan, he's been involved in so much controversy. As far as did you know that Senator Pan lived outside of his district, and he changed his address and he lived outside of the district, which is illegal, and then they rezoned it for him. That's the kind of corruption that we have, where they're willing to cover up for each other. And I think that, the only way to get this stuff done is to have a constant presence at the Capitol inside and be in their faces about it, so we can make them sweat and we can make them worry about their phony baloney jobs. We need to make them turn on each other. We need to make them start saving their own butt,
Yeah, so if you know that he did this, the media has to know that he did this. How come they're not questioning it? Why are they so afraid of these politicians? I'm a nobody, and I'm asking. Why aren't they asking? These will be huge stories. If anyone is in journalism, a reporter, you would think that they would want to know the answer to these questions, because they're actually they're bending laws. That's why the media is looking the way. This is why the media looks the way they look. This is why a lot of people go to social media now, because of the media don't report the actual news, and they're not actually out there looking for the truth. This is ridiculous. How is it they can do that? Would they allow us to do it? It's the same thing with DACA right now. If we break the law, what are they going to do to us? They're going to put us under the jail. They will put us away. They will hide us away. It's absolutely crazy. And they're so corrupt. I don't trust any of them. They are the swamp. They are the swamp monsters swimming around in the lagoon.
Yeah. We're the enemies of the state now. And you're seeing it, you are a true journalist, because you're coming out with the story, you're telling the truth, and you're 100 times more legitimate than the actual mainstream fake news. So what they're seeing is that the internet and social media is a dangerous place to have truth, because the interaction capacity, we can share information so quickly and it spreads like a wildfire. So now, I know that you've made posts about this before, but I recently have been experiencing a ton of censorship on social media. And I looked around at some people's posts, and there's a bunch of people that are influential people that are now complaining about the censorship. We've seen likes go from 800, 700 likes go down to 100 likes. And you're barely getting, 10,000 views on your video when you were getting 60,000, 70,000. And a lot of people are complaining about this. We're experiencing a shutdown. Literally, we're enemies of the state right now. And they attack people at their work. They attack their employers. They go after their landlords. They go after any part of their life to make them uncomfortable. They go after their families. It's a dangerous thing, and people are warning me about it. But let me tell you, I'm well aware of the dangers of being an activist. And the dangers of being an activist are so risks that I'm willing to take. Consider the dangers of just staying asleep and not doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the censorship has been going like crazy, because I'm like, what is my Facebook doing? I used to get notifications when people would put a post on my page, or even when someone would tag me in a post. I would get notification on it. I don't get any of those anymore. The only thing I get is Messenger. And the Messenger, I get those all day. But sometimes I have to turn those off, because there's so many of them that come through. But when Facebook, I don't get any of those. And so all of a sudden it stopped. And actually it stopped after the morning of the rally that we were having. That Saturday morning. Because I know I woke up that Saturday morning, and for some reason, it looked like I was in Facebook jail, but I wasn't. It was acting really weird. And then I was reaching out to other people, asking them, hey, is your Facebook acting weird? I had my producer try to post something on the United America First group page, and when she did it, she tagged me in it, and after that, she couldn't post anything any longer. So something happened. Yes. They did something. And then I was talking to other conservatives. They said, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm in Facebook jail, but it's not telling me I'm in Facebook jail. Something happened. They made some kind of change to the system that where I think it's affecting who we reach and who can see our videos, because guarantee it, they're probably not even seeing it over on the East Coast any longer, because they want to try to confine it to here. They want to confine it to a select group of people. People aren't getting notifications when I go live. People are, and when I think, and some people even complain and say, "Will, I can't even share your video." It won't even allow them to share the video. I mean, some of them try to make comments. It won't even let them comment, because I don't block anybody unless they're being completely ridiculous, you know, causing for violence and, you know, just on there cursing people out and stuff like that. They'll get blocked quick. My producer, she'll go in there and she'll block people quick. I have her, and I have another young lady that's on my page that manages my page for me, and they'll just go in there and just block people left and right when they're on there, you know, cursing people out and just being completely belligerent, you know. So that you have a choice, because they're not there to have dialogue and try to make something happen. But the censorship is happening. I mean, same thing on YouTube. I know I was looking at Joy, and she was complaining how YouTube wanted to block one of her videos, and it was going viral. And they wanted to block one of her videos because someone complained that their picture was in the video. So they had to blur the picture out just so they can keep the video going. But it's not even that. People, the videos on YouTube are getting, they won't allow them to monetize them. I had a video I did with Ace Baker talking about the Charlottesville incident, and they will not allow me to monetize that video. And that video, it had, you know, had a few thousand hits on it, and they won't allow me to monetize it. It's not like that we were saying anything hateful. He was just talking about what was taking place. And I guarantee that all the ones that are on the left, they're not doing this to them. If they are, they're not doing it on a mass scale like they're doing it to conservatives. Right now, it's like you said, we are enemies of the state, and this is warfare for them. And they figured that because if they can't shut our freedom of speech down by going out on a corner and talking, going to Berkeley by talking, going to San Francisco talking, they're going to shut us down in social media, because that's the outlet that we have. And, you know, and a lot of people saying we need another platform. Well, you guys need to go to another platform. You need to go to a different outlet or something. And you know what? That would be awesome. But right now, there's nothing available. I know Infinity SN is supposed to be going online here shortly, but it's not going to be available for iPhone users. You can do it from desktop. So I'm not sure exactly how robust it's going to be right now and how many people are actually going to go to it, you know? So it's just, dude, we're at their mercy almost. And if they want to shut us down and prevent 50 people from seeing it, they can do it.
Yeah, I often ask myself, what point is it going to be something to motivate the common folk to get off their couch, to be outraged and run out like their house is on fire and just be totally outraged and ready to finally make a stand? I wonder, what is it going to take? Is it going to take when there's police at your door making you conform to raise your kids or take your kids? Is it going to be to where, you know, you're not allowed to talk or say anything, or there's thought crimes? I mean, what is the point? I mean, I ask myself this time, Will, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen, or what do you think will happen that will actually wake people up? Or at what point are they going to really just get out there?
You know, I think that's a really hard one to call, because I know a lot of people are happy with, you know, Democrats attacking other people. You know, they're probably happy with Senator Pan attacking United America First, which is a completely peaceful group. You know, I mean, they're probably happy with it. I think the only way that you're going to get these people to realize it is when they get wind of the Democrats trying to make it hard for them to live here as well. I was watching Tucker, and he had a gentleman on there from California. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he was on there saying, yeah, we want to make it hard for the middle class so they will leave the state. We want to increase all the taxes and the pay so they will leave the state. And then that way, all of the people that's from Mexico or illegals that want to come to the state will have jobs to do. So basically, they were trying to bring in people to be servants for them. That's the
Yeah, I seen that interview.
You saw the interview?
Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous. And then I looked up some stuff and I posted a thing about the middle class and how it was essential to American, like to capitalism and American life, without the middle class. So the thing about it is they don't want to have a free economy. They don't want to have the same America that we're, the idea of America, what it's supposed to be. They want to push communism. They want the means of production to be controlled by the state. They want everything to be controlled by the state. They want to give people vouchers and have them go stand in line and control their food and control everything about them to even get the resources they need to live. They really are pushing for a complete communism, and anybody that's paying attention can see this. I'm just wondering at what point are we going to, are we going to see like this, the threshold, where people just get outraged whenever they're all on vouchers and they're standing in line and there's no more food and they say, well, sorry, the shop's closed now. You guys go home and starve until the next batch of food comes or whatever. I don't know where it is, but for me, I think like maybe 20 years ago when I was a kid paying attention to stuff, I grew up in the 80s and it was like, I still remember what free America, felt like as opposed to now, walking through the neighborhoods and playing as a little kid, riding your bike and everything, as opposed to now. I remember, the times are completely different. And to me, we live in a whole different world. And it was like, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that was the time for people to stand up and do something. And now we're going to get to just blatant oppression where they're taking away our weapons, they're taking away our children, they're taking away. I mean, this is where we move into the twilight zone right here. I mean, come on, next year we're going to see it really buckle down on us.
Yeah, it is like the twilight zone. And a lot of times that's why I say that, but I truly believe that we're in the end times and we have people, minds are just being manipulated like never before. And I believe that there's a demonic spirit that's going over, taking over these people. And I do truly believe this demonic spirit has a hold of like Senator Pan, Nancy Pelosi, Ed Lee, Senator Weiner, because they're sitting there lying, blatantly lying to the masses, to the people, and then the media take it and run with it. Who does that? Who will sit there and lie to everybody? And then what's really got me going is that people don't even question it. The media don't even question it. When are they going to wake up? See, all we can do is continue to talk and talk and talk. But when people don't realize it and people don't see what's going on, it's just going to get worse. Right now, they had the storm in Houston. We have the storm hitting Florida, but people don't consider this a storm. But this is a storm of people's minds, and it's not just a storm that we can physically see. This storm that's coming is bigger than any storm that man can categorize. We can't even do it. And it's so small, so minute. These people believe that them telling lies are doing the right thing. They believe that they can tell a lie just to get their agenda across, calling United America First a hate group, when they are the ones who's hateful. They're the ones who's calling for violence. They have Antifa as their secret military. They're the ones who's trying to hurt people, harm people. Every time the liberal left have a rally, they have them in Trump. They have them in front of Trump Towers. They have them in various places. Every time they have their rally, you don't see conservatives, you don't see Republicans there throwing rocks at them, trying to hit them with sticks, calling them names, trying to throw M80 bombs inside of bottles, trying to blow up in front of their eyes. You don't see that. Why? Because conservatives don't do that. There's only been one side. Yes, one side in all of this that's been doing all of this craziness, trying to get people to be violent. And it has been the liberal left. I mean, seriously, you got Antifa, BAM, BLM, Black Bloc, the Weather Underground, ISIS, Kathy Griffin. I mean, they all support and do these hateful things. I mean, seriously. And they're all liberal left. And they get so angry if you have a different view, a different point of view. If your views don't line up with theirs, then you're being hateful, Senator Pan. Because I don't agree with them putting vaccines into our children that they don't even know what's in the vaccine. If the vaccine does something to your child, you can't say it was the vaccine. If the vaccine caused your child to be paralyzed, you can't say it's the vaccine. If you don't want to give it to your child, they'll try to find a way to take the child from you, because then when it puts kids into the system, it's money for the state. It's more money, the more kids they have in it. So they're only looking at these kids as a product. They're not looking at to try to save the kids. And then people talking about, oh yeah, well, we need vaccines. We need vaccines. Of course, there's some vaccines that help people in the past. No one can dispute that. But when they're coming up with these vaccines and they don't even know what's in them, you even ask the doctor, say, well, this is part of the, I guess, the medical community that we have to push these across. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
It's outrageous. I dispute all vaccines personally because I've done the research on them and I know the history of them and I know the ingredients. And you're totally right. The doctors, they don't even know what the ingredients are. And half the people out there that will say, we're crazy or this or that, you ask them, name 5 ingredients in a vaccine. They won't even be able to tell you. They haven't tested vaccines on pregnant women. I mean, I can go on and on about the vaccine subject, but I'd rather focus on the fact that Big Pharma is a huge control and part of our government. They dwarf the oil industry in Washington, D.C. I spoke with Sheila from Vaxxed earlier today. She's down in Texas, and she said there's a globalist in town. Like, they all came in town after this storm, after this hurricane, and they're ready now. They're actually going to be capitalizing on this because they want to push all these vaccines on everybody. And they're having a huge convention down there, and so she's arranging a protest down there to protest these globalists. See, people don't understand, they don't question and do research about the vaccines, because you tell me that the government is corrupt all day long in all the various ways, but you're going to trust them to take control of your body and your children's body and tell you what to put in it. That's where you have to draw the line. Whether you believe in vaccines or not, you should believe in freedom. And what do you think is going to be the end result of having the government tell you what to do with your body and what not to do with your body? Are you ready for the chip?
Exactly. You know what? I was thinking that very thing. Because, what's going to end up happening is that as soon as they make it to where they can push any vaccine on you and you have to have it or they're going to lock you up, it's going to follow right along with everyone getting a chip in them. Because they're going to try to, and you know what? When they introduce it, it's going to be a beautiful thing the way they introduce it. They're going to introduce it, if you put it in your child, you don't have to worry about your child being kidnapped. Or if your child is kidnapped and they cut it out, you have at least some kind of idea what happened to try to track him down. And then the same thing with the people coming across the border. They're going to open it up. I'm telling you, these liberals, they're going to push it. And even the Rhino Republicans, they're going to say, okay, if you want to come through, just get this chip and you can come on in. They're going to make it so nice and so easy for the masses to get it, to want to get it, that people are going to get it. And then if you don't get it, you're going to be labeled enemy of the state. Clear as day. That's exactly it. And that's what they're leading up to. The reason why they hadn't pushed it yet, because they know people would fight against it. People would rebel. You know what? That chip, if they were to implement that tomorrow, let's say we wake up tomorrow and they make an announcement that everyone has to go to DMV and get it, because that's where it's going to take place. They're going to make you go to the DMV because it's going to replace your driver license, any identification. It's going to replace your credit cards. They're not going to make it allow you to get to any currency that you have, because it's already all credit. It's already all numbers. They're trying to get rid of currency now. But it's coming. I mean, we are here, and a lot of people say, well, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. Well, your lifetime is happening in your lifetime, and a lot of people don't even want to acknowledge it. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of people, with the minds of people being so easily manipulated right now, they're making it so much easier for people to just follow suit, to follow line. Because as soon as you talk about vaccines, they say, well, we need vaccines. We need vaccines. And if you have 100 kids that get the vaccine, if you have one kid that don't get the vaccine, what do the other 100 kids have to worry about?
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing that you see all the time. And I can't believe people are still falling for it. The Hegelian dialect, the solution, the problem, reaction, solution. They always get you to give up your rights through using fear. And, they give you to give up your rights for safety. That's the whole thing, the whole time. So they push all this stuff. Okay, it's like my kids, they're running around. I have 3 kids that were vaccinated. couple of my kids, they had all three of them, they had vaccine reactions where they do not take vaccines well. And so my three younger kids, they are unvaccinated. Well, they're trying to say, like they're running around with all these diseases. They act like unvaccinated kids are running around with all these diseases, which is completely ridiculous. It's bogus. And so, they want, you to get this shot to go to school because you have to keep all these kids safe. Meanwhile, like hepatitis students are allowed to run around school. And what about the teachers? Are they up to schedule? Because vaccinations aren't just get one and it lasts forever. Okay. There's all kinds of holes in their story. What about when they're at the supermarket and they're at the parks? It's just a BS game. It's a $1 billion industry, and these doctors get kickbacks for it. These legislators like Senator Pan, they're on the payroll. Okay. What happened during SB 277? We had 700 and something people show up and oppose SB 277, and we had a handful of their little specialists go up and say that they were for it, okay, and they still passed it, even though the bulk of the people didn't want it, all right, and the media will try to push this huge, outbreak situation and then try to tell people and try to create a common consensus, just like what they said with the polls with Trump. They said nobody wanted Trump to be president, but actually everybody voted for Trump. A lot of people voted for Trump. So what do? They try to attack the Electoral College, and they just have tactic after tactic, and it's getting old. It's getting blatant. I mean, they label you. They'll try to use the media to create that common consensus and cause that fear to bring that solution about. And that's what people end up doing. They buy into it. They give up their rights, and next thing you know, inch by inch, little by little, we're left with no freedom.
Exactly. So I want to say this for anyone who's watching on Facebook. I know I don't know how well Facebook is acting right now, but we are also streaming on YouTube. I can't view the YouTube right now, but we're streaming live on both. So we have about 10 more minutes. This attack that has been going on for United America First and yourself and Hareen, you know what? We need to do one to where we can bring all of us on. And he also included Joey in there, didn't he?
Yeah, Joey, and they included Amber too.
He included Amber. So you know what? We need to do. We need to try to do an episode where we can have all 5 of us on the screen. I'm gonna try to set it up to where all 5 of us can be on the screen, talking to each other and talking about what's going on in the state of America. And I want everybody to see that these hateful politicians that are supposed to be for the people are attacking us, that are just citizens. We're not even a big major news media outlet. We're just social media. And we can only reach what social media is allowing us to reach. And I don't expect Facebook to admit that they're doing any censorship. I don't expect YouTube to admit it, because then that would be they're blatantly doing it. So
it's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely obvious that they're doing it, but getting them to admit it probably would never happen. But point is that we need to bring all of us on there so we can show that these crooked, stinking, lying politicians, they're not only are they attacking us, but they're attacking everybody in the state. This is for everybody in the state of California that they are attacking. When they attack us, they're attacking everybody because they're attacking freedom of speech. And if they only support a select few of the people in the state, then they should be removed. Because anytime a person takes political office, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but anytime a person takes political office or a position of authority, they are there for everybody. It's the same thing with the police department. And originally, that's the reason why BLM supposedly came to be, because they were supposed to be there to talk against people of authority coming down on minorities. But they've grown into a terrorist group themselves. But the whole point is that these people that are sitting on the hill, on Capitol Hill, they're supposed to be there for all of us. They're supposed to protect all of us. I did the video asking help in California because the politicians are attacking us. They're lying about us, trying to incite violence and trying to bring harm. I mean, it's crazy. So one more time, talk about Janine.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what's cool about Janine DeRose. She can replace Senator Pan, and we can get him out of the way. and she's all about freedom. Maximum freedom, minimum government. You can find her at DeRoseForSenate.com. Janine is always saying that. She's saying that she has to represent everybody. And she was talking about Senator Penn and how he doesn't represent everybody. I can't wait to see these two debate because Senator Penn's logic is off big time. I would love to debate the guy myself. But, a lot of people, Josh Coleman, Del Bigtree, Senator Penn is on video running from people, all right? He's on video lying. He's just been caught in so many lies. He won't even meet with his constituents. He doesn't return calls. He's basically in there. He's a corporate representative, and he won't even talk to us. Whenever his own constituents went to his town hall, he made them show ID and write down their names and what questions so that he can censor and have his people, his office staff, shuffle through and decide what questions that they want to answer. And I almost got in trouble because I stood up over everybody and I said, "You're censoring us, and you represent us. You need to answer our questions." And they said, "We're not censoring." I said, "You're censoring right now." And they had their little security come up to me and everything, and everybody lost it. Everybody just started going and getting outraged because of it, because it was true. The actual parents and the actual people that were there, they weren't being heard. And Janine DeRose, she showed up at the town hall in West Sacramento, and she is always, she's one of us, so she's willing to listen to everybody and, make ethical and moral decisions about things. She represents everybody. She's not going to just, represent conservatives, liberals, or, she's very fair, and she has a lot of experience for the job. She speaks out. She's a humanitarian as well. I think that you should go onto her website, DeRoseForSenate.com, and check it out and see what her platform is all about. See where she stands on immigration. See where she stands on parental rights. See where she stands. She's well educated in the Constitution. She's taken classes on it, and she knows it very well. So I think you'd be really surprised. If you haven't seen, Will has had her on the show before, and I think it was a great show and an opportunity for people to get to know her. But check her out, DeRoseForSenate.com.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to try to reach out to her again. Now, actually, I'm going to have my producer reach out to her again and ask her to come on. And we're going to talk about Senator Penn. And I'm going to do everything I can to wake everybody up to his corruptness. The same thing with Nancy Pelosi, Mayor Ed Lee, and Senator Weiner. All of these Democrats, and even Dianne Feinstein, Maxine Waters. I mean, what's the common denominator here? They're all liberals, and they're all destroying this state, trying to destroy the country. I mean, seriously, I can't be the only one in this state, and I've only been in the state going on 6, maybe 7 years. I've only been here this long, and I see the craziness, the corruptness. It's so bad here in California with these liberals that I used to consider myself a Democrat. I used to consider myself leaning to the left. But when I came here, I was like, my God, if this is what liberalism is, then someone take me out now, because I cannot be a part of it. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's disgusting what they are doing to this state, and what they're doing to the people, and what they're doing to American citizens. These are the people that that I didn't put, because I wasn't here, I didn't vote for them. These are the people that have been put in place to be for the people. They were put in by the people, for the people, but they're not for the people. So if they're watching this, and if they have any representatives watching this, tell them I'm going to talk about them as much as possible, and I'm not going to do like they're doing. I'm not going to cause for violence like they do. I'm completely against the violence. They are for the violence. You can call out your Antifa militant groups, your BLM militant groups, and your BAM militant groups by any means necessary. You can call them out, because you are the hateful ones. Every last one of you. None of you are talking about peace. None of you are talking about unity. None of you are talking about doing the right thing for America. You're trying to create these sanctuary cities. You're trying to destroy America. You go against the president of the United States, who's trying to do everything, which is not a racist. The only racist people in this country are the liberals. They are the most hateful, racist people on this land. I want to
Yeah.
switch.
Hey, Will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of the domestic terrorist organizations, you guys, we're doing a campaign, a full marketing campaign to expose these domestic terrorist organizations, stop domestic terrorism. And Will has posted a GoFundMe for it. We're raising money to get these billboards up and expose these domestic terrorist organizations. And we're going to have our website where everybody can go to these different ads, and it'll funnel them to this website where they can go, and it'll break down the terrorist organizations, their members, their funders, all the whole 9 yards. So if you guys don't know about that, check out Will's page. I'm sure we'll be posting some more GoFundMe links. And we have raised what I think it's almost at $1,800
Yeah.
since like Sunday.
Yeah, since like Sunday. So, a lot of people
Yeah.
understand what we're doing here. And, and when we're working on getting the site right now, but we need as many people to help us. Just imagine all the people that donated to this, when they see this billboard, and if we can, we're going to try to get this billboard in the heart of San Francisco to where everybody rides by and they see this billboard about the domestic terrorism that's taking place. And we're going to want to expose all of these people. But we don't have super PACs. We don't have a George Soros. We don't have the GOP helping us like the DNC helps the left. We don't have any of that. All we have are American people in this country to help us. And we're not going to just do it in San Francisco. This is not just a California campaign. This campaign is nationwide. Really, it could be worldwide. But right now, we're concentrating on trying to get a billboard up in San Francisco or somewhere in the state. We don't want to say exactly where because we don't know where yet, because wherever the price is right is where we're going to put the billboard. But we need people to help us. If you go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com, you can see the GoFundMe. You can read up on about it. And if you have any questions, you can ask myself or Gabriel. You can ask us. We're here to try to bring awareness to what's going on in this country, because no one else is doing it. No one else is doing it. I don't see, and it's kind of frustrating because the GOP should be pushing this movement about the domestic terrorism, because it is the terrorists of the left that's doing it. They're the ones who's bringing all this hateful rhetoric to everything. Senator Penn calling Unite America First a hate group. Are you kidding me? We've been talking about nonviolence from day one, and we're still talking about nonviolence. So go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com. By all means, please, we need everybody to help. When you do help and we put up that billboard, you can say that's something that you did. You can say that's something that you did when you helped donate to this. When you show all your friends, we're going to have pictures, we're going to post it everywhere. We're going to have videos. When they put it up, we're going to go live from there, and you can tell everybody, say, this is something that I did. You can say that. You can say this is something that I did, because you have that right, because you donated to it. And once we get the website up, we're going to show where every dollar goes, and we're not going to show all the names. If someone's really that particular, or they want to see all the names, they can actually go to the GoFundMe, or they can donate anonymous, because some people will donate anonymously. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please, again, go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com, and you can get all the information. We also post the links on our Facebook pages. And I'll post the link again. It's already on my wall, but it's kind of scrolled down. Same thing with Gabriel. So I encourage everybody to go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com and check it out. You want to say anything before we go, Gabriel?
Oh, that's it. You handled it. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, Will.
All right. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I said, we also stream live on Facebook and YouTube, because I'm not sure how long they're going to allow us to speak what we see, what's going on, and to try to get the truth out. I want to thank everybody for watching. Good night and God bless. Hit the green button up there. Understand why not? Come talk to me about it. I mean, if I'm doing something wrong, by all means, come tell me. Just like now we have Senator Penn. He's actually coming out and attacking us. I mean, I've never... I had on, what's his name, Joshua? Is it Joshua?
Josh Coleman.
Yeah, I had on Joshua Coleman, and I shared a video with him asking Pan about the vaccines, and Pan was, he was being aggressive to Pan, but Pan was being my opinion, kind of arrogant. All he had to do was just talk to him and answer his questions, and he probably would have left him alone. But I think Pan know that he was in the wrong is the reason why he did what he was doing. So now, all of a sudden, I'm on his radar and he's attacking me, and it has nothing to do with that because that was what? This was maybe
July.
6 months ago?
June.
Yeah, exactly. So this was July, June. And now he's attacking me from the post that you put out there from the situated now. Let's see here. At least I say I do. Yep, there it is. All right, good deal. All right, we're live. So, hello everybody. Thank you for watching tonight. Again, it is Gabriel Silva and myself, Will Johnson. The reason why I said that the last time we were on, someone put in a comment and said, "These two again." And I'm like, really? So and then I offered an invitation to this person to come on and tell me about it, to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And all of a sudden they stopped talking. I get that a lot. I don't.
When I go to these town halls, they know me by name. It's just ridiculous.
Really?
He definitely lashed out at us. All I did, he talked about American values, and he was, he's against President Trump's decision on DACA, and so I just basically said, well, if you're about American values, like you're saying, then why are you attacking, parental rights and body sovereignty and all these American values? Why are you attacking them if you're saying you're about American values? So he lashes out, and like Joey, you will, Amber, transgender, Hareem, he lashes out at all of us and says that we're a hate group, and he quotes like the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is totally illegitimate and is more of a hate group itself. So I thought it was really ridiculous that he's, honestly, all that says is he's been paying attention to us. He knows who you guys are all at West Sacramento. So she's been involved with activism, and she has an extensive background of experience pertaining specifically to running for senator. So she's a really good candidate. You can find out more at DeRoseForSenate.com. She's just a mom like us, and she's very, very grounded. She's very knowledgeable. She has a lot of experience, and I don't see any other candidate emerging right now that could do it besides Janine. I think we all need to rally around her and get Senator Pan out of office. Come on, Senator Pan. Senator Pan introduces the most outrageous legislation to try to take control of our kids, take control of our body sovereignty. Senator Pan is one of the most dangerous politicians in America, in my opinion. And anybody that's been following what I've been saying, they know all about Senator Pan. They know me by name.
Screenshot, and now he's attacking both of us. He's attacking Hareem. Hareem is in Southern California, and he's attacking Hareem. He's calling us hate groups. This is what we deal with these crazy politicians. My producer said, don't talk much about San Francisco, but San Francisco has Nancy Pelosi, Mayor Ed Lee, Senator Weiner, and Pan, he's out of Sacramento, correct?
Yeah, District 6 out of Sacramento.
Yeah, so let's talk about Pan. Let's talk about who's running against Pan and who we need to knock Pan out with. Go ahead.
Okay, we have Janine DeRose running for Senate District 6 against Senator Pan. She is an activist just like myself, and she's been out there getting involved with the referendums, the recalls, fighting SB 277, SB 18. She's been, she was at the town hall where we shut down Pan's town hall.